RU2 was good job, boys. Right into Zero Survival Instincts. I want to watch it. You're here. I like the thumbnail. Let's get to it.
In every form of media, there's one thing you always notice. The grunts, the minions, the nameless henchmen, the disposable soldiers, the faceless goons. And no matter what they're up against, they could be staring into the eyes of Kratos himself. With the goatee and won't hesitate to swing. Now, the main reason why the star came to mind is because I was scrolling through TikTok, seen this fire edit of Rimuru, and then it all came back to me. Why are y'all testing this man? I get he's just a slime, the weakest monster, but I feel like if that weakest monster was able to unite all creatures who, by the way, were known for killing each other, united them, building a nation from scratch, from the dirt and mud. He started off in a shed, and it wasn't like they were just walking around doing nothing. Nah, they were working, divided into different work groups. Like, imagine this: lions, bears, gorillas, all one day just started walking on 2 feet, started speaking English. A whole nation
really
filled with that. And now they can think like humans, but paired with that intelligence is their monster instincts. And one man was responsible for that evolution. So would you look at that man and say, oh yeah, I just know he a bitch?
What?
I don't know.
That's how they be thinking.
Also, Rimuru's nation is built in Jura's forest, which is where Veldora the Storm Dragon was. And him being there was the exact reason niggas left that place alone. He was sealed. No one wanted to shake the boat. Didn't even want to risk breaking it. So the fact that he built there, honestly, you could look at it 2 different ways. You might think he's an idiot, or that he's like that. But then he became allies with the Dwarven Kingdom, built roads for trade, and he did all that within a couple of months. Building a nation would take decades. He did that shit on a whim. He said, fuck it, might as well. I say all this because people still try to test him. They were really on some I hate you nigga, let's die. Didn't believe monsters should have anything. So these 3 pulled up. Whole time they had someone on the inside who snaked us, created a barrier that, for one, stops all communication, so they can't call Rimuru because he was away. 2, you can't get out. And 3, it weakens all monsters. So Unk got cooked. Gapta got cooked. Shion, my goat, fucking died, as well as dozens of other citizens. And that's when Rimuru got back, seen that, said, I bet. That kingdom sent 20,000 soldiers.
I don't understand. That nigga with the shiesty, it was over. When I seen him, once I watched the episode, he pulled the shiesty out. These things are dying.
Kingdom sent 20,000 soldiers to finish the job, but that shit was baby food, nigga.
That nigga caught 10 bodies, 10,000 bodies right there.
Benny Maru ate swell too. They killed his sister. He was out for blood. And those first initial 3 that pulled up, handled. Unk got his get back for that fight, if you want to call it that. So dude's ability was putting things in extreme slow motion, so he really sat there and watched his own head get cut off. The other guy killed the girl to gain more power, but that did absolutely nothing. That ass just got beat to a pulp. And now Rimuru simply annihilated everyone. Got straight headshots, and now look at the king, yo bitch ass, crying. You had all the signs to avoid this man and you ignored it. And you know what's crazy? He was granted a chance to speak and still try to act like that king title mattered. Took that boy's arm. So then the great sage told Rimuru, hey, you know you only killed like 5,000 people, right? So he turns around and took the soul of everyone else there. And with catching all those bodies, he evolved into a demon lord. So you invading the monster nation just upped our power rank tenfold. The very nation you hated got a crazy buff thanks to your efforts. Dumbass.
Cause like, you were scared of the monsters, right? I never understood this. They were scared of Rimuru and the monsters, so you decided to kill them, angering them, and losing 20,000 people. Like, what sense does that make? Just leave them niggas alone. You just let them niggas alone.
And the next one is low-key an obvious pick, Jogo. It's funny because in most situations, he is the furthest away from a grunt, but he just decides to scuffle with the most powerful beings known to man. You have no reason to fight Gojo, the man who's glazed by the world, even glazed by the narrator. He has fourth wall break glaze, and you thought it was okay to fight him? The entire population has tried to counter this move and they all failed. It was proven to be unstoppable. Not to Satoru Gojo, of course. Like, the signs were there. Geto even told you, yeah, you're strong, but that man will kill you. Don't try to find him. And you know what he proceeds to do? Went and fought Gojo. And if the guy you're trying to kill cracks a smile, that should have been your first sign. You're out of your league, buddy. You're hitting him with all types of combos just for him to brush it off, and then mid-scuffle gave you a detailed lesson on how his powers worked, interlocked fingers, ping-ponged your shit, hit you with red, started hawking you down the forest, and after he laid you out, a mouth open in the river, he said, wait a minute, my students should see how bad I'm finna whoop your ass. Allowed you to pop your domain just so he can show you that he can counter it.
Infinite void.
Proceeded to pull your head off with a smile on his face.
Michael
He is
Jordan,
lucky
this nigga
Jaime
bad.
was able to save him. And for this next one, we're not talking about anime. I just rewatched the Batman warehouse scene and I forgot how crazy that shit was. And just look at the first mistake these guys made. When has Batman ever walked through the front door? And why would he start now? These guys must be the new hires. They forgot to send the supervisors with them. Y'all been doing this for how long? You think Batman's gonna ring the doorbell, knock on a door, asking permission to enter? So he breaks through the floor, puts a mini bomb on everyone's guns, and after that, y'all should have left. Trying to fight Batman hand to hand is like trying to block a nuke. What's the point? But what makes
No, because niggas are dying. Yo, let me know if I'm tripping y'all boys. Let me know. You're fighting Batman. you could give up that nigga's doing something to you regardless. He's breaking a leg or he's suplexing you. You're going to the hospital regardless. But he shouldn't he's just a regular nigga in the back costume. He shouldn't be able to do this. You feel me? It's about Tibetan monks. I don't know. They drug this nigga. I don't know what he's on.
makes this even worse is that this Batman is a killer. He grappled the guy's shoulder, brought him in, and caved in his chest. He can't breathe no more. There's a hole where his lungs should be. And look at this idiot. First of all, your entire squad is in this room and you want to throw a grenade? What? Sure. But the fact that you waited for Batman to turn around and do something is nuts. Now you and your homeboy's dead. And I will say, this is the closest we'll get to a live action Arkham Batman. Like, look, a 180 up and over rock bottom. What do you even call that move? And look at this guy. He said, oh shit. Saw his homeboy get hit with a finisher. He regretted every action that led to this day. And I'll never understand what goes through these grunts' mind, because you just saw him pull off that move while.
How much y'all getting paid? How much y'all think they getting paid to do this? You putting your life on the line like you getting $1 billion. You about to go into a mansion or something like that. What is the health benefits?
Fighting 3 people. Instead of reloading your gun, because there's no way you just have one clip, you decide to pull out knives. But you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you thought he got lucky. After all, there's like 20 of y'all, right? But I feel like after he grabbed this guy's head, slammed it on the box, and then proceeded to use that same box, cracking that nigga's skull with it, like
he's dead.
He's dead. The man was wearing a beanie and the blood still went through. There's no chance he's alive. I told y'all, this Batman is out for blood. And then he purposely walks into a 1v4. And I want you to pay attention to this guy right here in the brown jacket and count the amount of times he could have escaped his demise. Oh, Fred, Bat can't get your ass out of here. He comes back and you know what? Sure, you ain't get hit hard enough yet. So then he gets a mouthful of elbow and you would think getting smacked 5 feet across the room, you have a change of heart. Like, oh shit, maybe I should just not fight the Batman anymore. I got spared 2 times. I think it's a sign to turn my life around. But no, he comes back again. And then after witnessing his homeboy get whiplash, he comes back again and Batman finally put him down. He was given 3 chances to avoid bodily harm and chose to ignore every single one. And then Batman chose to break this man's neck. Dreadhead runs in to do absolutely nothing, got 3 big booms to the back of his cranium, and honestly, this is the smartest goon Gotham has. The only one to aim for Batman's head. It's unfortunate that it's armored, but it's the heart that counts. And you cannot make this up. The guy is back for the 5th time. Why are you so determined to die? And I'm like 97% positive Batman is annoyed at this point. Look how he turned around. And I gotta mention, his theme song fits perfectly. I felt,
when has Batman ever stabbed a nigga like that? This is not Batman, bro. This ain't Batman, nigga.
No sense of hope, no justice. This was a song for a villain. Then the guy behind decided he preferred to live life without teeth, and then gets thrown back first into the wall. And till this day, I have no clue what Batman did to this nigga. I don't think he was fighting to save Martha anymore. This was a personal vendetta. And since we're already on the topic of Batman, we might as well talk about this. Absolute Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I've been told to read this for a while now, so I just read issue 1. The name Batman hasn't been fully established yet. It's still something that's just floating in the wind. Now the thing with this comic is that everything that you're used to and know about the Batman story, yeah, just go ahead and forget about it. Nothing's the same. Bruce isn't some orphan that inherited his parents' wealth. He's a normal nigga. Kinda. Alfred isn't his butler, he's a seasoned mercenary. Now, there's this group called the Party Animals who's going around raising havoc, even ripping the skin off people's faces and wearing them as masks.
Wait, what?
Now, of course, Bruce not gonna allow that shit to go down in the city, so the next time they show themselves, he was there. This dude was perched upside down on the building. This guy emptying a Draco. This one has an Uzi, and all that did nothing. He drops down and just look at the size of those quads. All that weight dropped on that man's chest. That shit is caved in. His ribs are inside out. And then they gonna sit here and tell me he's still alive too. But now take a look at the second guy. He grabs him with a cape and tossed him into the second story window. Next one talking about some wait, now your right lung is now punctured. Slammed him straight into that pole. He's single-handedly fighting an army, and that was only the first wave. And Alfred is watching all this unfold, by the way. His boss told him to gather evidence and only engage if completely necessary. If I was him, I'd make sure to stay away. I am not engaging no matter what. He took all of them down, leaving a trail of bodies. And of course, you got the broly built nigga that thinks he can stand a chance.
This hand has killed more people than you can count. Now I'm going to give you one chance. Get the fuck out of our way.
He pulls out a machete. Batman says, okay, and nigga, I got one of those too. And proceeds to chop his hand off. And look at what he says. I hear they can reattach them sometimes. There's a hospital 3 blocks south of here. Or is it east? I can't seem to remember all of a sudden.
Is this nigga Batman or Punisher? Like, no.
Run. And then proceeds to use their own line against them. This Batman looks like he just wanna hurt niggas. Violence first, heroics later. Now the rest of the minions has some sense. Only thing they can do is run. But Alfred made sure they wasn't getting far. He had bombs set up under the staircase. Alfred, whoever that is, you are to engage. Copy. Had him at point blank range, boasting about this 1 of 3 rare shotgun that can splatter his brain. Fuck up talking to me. Took his gun and disappeared. He just dug all in your pockets. So after that day, Alfred started following him. He already knew his identity. He already knew Bruce was behind the mask. He was just waiting for the perfect time to strike. Honestly, probably wasn't too hard to find him. How many people you know who's built like that? The nigga's quads are the size of a tire. It's not hard. But right when he pulled up, he sees Batman aiming the shotgun directly at his skull. Oh, come on, kid. Just give me the gun. This ain't your body.
You say you know killer?
Now, it does say he altered the gun to make it non-lethal, but from that close, at the end of the day, it's still a shotgun. You can say non-lethal all you want, but staring down the barrel, if not dead, you for sure rattled his brain. He might wake up speaking a different language. And I know Alfred isn't a minion, but when it comes to fighting Batman, he might as well be. He did him dirty every single time. After he got shot point blank, Batman deadass gave the gun back, tossed on the floor, pretty much said, nigga, I don't need this. But not only that, he took his bike. We are all—
This nigga's a thug.
On the 90th floor. How is it even— why is it even up here? You let this man rob you twice, and to make it even worse, he hit you with the one-liner, you're not the only one who follows people. And then to add even more to it, he drives through the window because embarrassing him wasn't enough. He needed to ore farm too. He used his cape to glide down with the bike. What can you even do after experiencing that? This had to have been the worst week of his life. Take the walk of shame, get a tub of ice cream, eat your sorrows away. This shit was— this was bad. But the next on the list is Wolverine. We gonna take this one back to the X2 movie when Stryker had his grunts invade the mansion. Now, fighting Batman, I can somewhat not really understand. Batman at the end of the day is mortal. He can technically be killed. But Wolverine will not. If I was one of those soldiers and Stryker told me to invade the X-Mansion, I'm telling him fuck no. Don't Wolverine live there? I'm not entering any establishment with that man in it. If he wasn't there, maybe. Wolverine is the only one there I know for certain will kill you. The others is 50-50. They might just hit you really hard. Wolverine will stab you in your chest yelling dead in your face. I'm not going for that. But oh, they have
Both
these
sides
darts
of
that
the
knocks
guard.
people out. But like, come on. Any poison, anesthesia, or whatever is a coin flip using it on him. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm not taking that risk. We can even take it to the 2013 Wolverine movie. Now, I don't remember exactly if the grunts knew his healing factor was weakened, but I feel like after the first encounter, when he tanked a point-blank shotgun, something should have ringed in your head like, hey, even when weakened, I can't hang. Maybe, just maybe I should just go home. But nah, they decided to follow him on the train, where he tanks a bullet, tanks 2 stabs to the back, and still handled them. So let's cut to where he pulls up on his village area. The final boss is in that castle, and I can't fully blame the grunts here because they didn't know he got his healing factor back until the actual fight starts, and because they do actually win this encounter only because he got dumbed down for plot. But the moment he got slashed on the face and it healed, y'all should have immediately went to plan B. Fighting Wolverine head on is like purposely walking into a semi-truck. Like, why are y'all playing on bikes? What is that gonna do? They tried trapping him in a net like he doesn't cut through metal every movie, and I swear they be getting him mixed up for someone else. This man does not care about your well-being. He tossed this guy into the snowblower. Like, I see that. I'm hiding in one of the houses. Real shit. 30 seconds later, he grabs that bike and smacked the dude with it. And after looking through some of these movies, I just now realized Wolverine is an ore farmer. He sees that they're surrounded, so you know what he does? Pulls out a cigar and blew the truck up.
Just like that,
sure to turn around real slow. And he really wasted that cigar too. He took one puff and threw it on the ground. Now, the only reason I say him losing this encounter is nonsense is because they start shooting these harpoon arrows at him, right? After the first 3, he just completely gave up on taking them out, cutting them off. Just continued running in a straight line. No ducking in between alleyways, no cutting through buildings, just kept going straight. Then got hit with poison, which is why he got knocked out. But he could have avoided that. But the next one isn't a movie or a superhero. We're kind of taking a different approach.
Video games?
Nicole Watterson. Everyone that isn't her, I consider a grunt. So in the first season, Gumball was getting bullied by Tina. Anais, being a W sister, calls her line and told her, hey, stop picking on my brother. But that immediately turned into a word. Matter of fact, just for that, pull up tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm finna beat his ass now. So everything just got worse. And for the rest of the episode, they were trying to figure out a way to avoid the fight or just tank the beating. That's until Nicole found out. She ain't waste no time. The second she heard that, she got in the whip, pulled up to the crib, and I don't know who Tina thinks she is trying to run us down, told her to sit, walked up to her pops and whooped his ass in his own house. Now, after this incident, I'm expecting everyone to know what's up. The hierarchy has changed. The teachers were even scared to help Gumball when they found out Tina was involved. So the one who beat her dad, avoid at all costs. But clearly they didn't get the message. Cause for some reason, folks thought it was a good idea to take over the Watterson's house. Started running amok, doing whatever they wanted. Even got kicked out of the crib when they told him to get out. So that's when Nicole comes home. And this dude had the audacity to say, gave that boy the penance stare. Everyone got to work real quick. And you would think her family will understand the most, but even they be trying her. Yeah, at the end of the day, she's still your mom, your wife, but even so, when she's in a bad mood, it's best to be on your best behavior. And if you're black, I know you remember these words vividly, or at least some variation of it. Don't be acting a fool when we get up in the store, and that's exactly what they were doing. Acting a damn fool. She sent them to the car like 3 times.
If I remember
One of
correctly,
those times, Richard came back trying to assert dominance, but she just looked at him. Conqueror's hockey.
Why does she? That makes sense. She would be. I ain't gonna lie, she would be the king of the pirates.
And they just kept coming back, and it got so
got hard for
bad
it.
that she snapped on this lady who was just trying to offer her a massage. But the worst mistake Richard made was the fact that he took his kids shoplifting, all because they wanted some candy. Funniest part was, this security guard brought them to Nicole like she was the law enforcement. But at this point, she fully snaps, chasing Richard throughout the entire store. The same security guard, for some reason, decides to tase her. So she quite literally proceeds to kill the man, took his life force away, and now you gotta sit there and perish inside a Walmart, all because you couldn't mind your business. Now, I don't know what she was gonna do to Richard, but lucky for him, she found herself. And we can even bring up some of her other feats too, like having a literal anime fight, conjuring up Kamehamehas, or like the what if moment if she never met Richard, so she became the emperor of the world or some shit. Or when Larry, the guy who works every job in the town, quit, went from a peaceful place to a damn purge. And I brought this up because Nicole quite literally whooped everyone's ass and then killed the balloon. That balloon was a child, by the way, if you didn't know. But the last entry on the list is really just the entire game, The Last of Us, specifically part 2. Tommy and Ellie treated Seattle like their hunting grounds. So after the death of Joel, they both set out to get revenge. We never actually see Tommy do anything, we just see the aftermath. One of the ones who killed Joel, dead, tied to a chair. Turn the corner, we see another guy, dead, also strapped to a chair. Also, at some point when you gotta play as Abby, you see the sheer amount of bodies their side laid to rest. Half of those by Tommy. We also gotta see Manny bitch ass get put down. That was the only person in Abby's group that I actually hated. Then afterwards, Ellie does end up getting captured. Wakes up to this dude all up in her face. Now, if he was smart, he would have killed her immediately. He recognized her too. He deadass said, oh yeah, the guy we killed up in Jackson, yeah, she was there. And I'm pretty sure she said like 5 times that she was gonna kill us. And somehow she tracked us down here, but everything's under control. He even stopped the other dude who was gonna kill her, and you know what that got him? A bullet to the back and a knife to the neck. And they proceed to escape the building, whether you shot your way out or snuck your way out. Me personally, no one was escaping that day. I was doing it for Joel. And there's multiple sections of the game in between the main kills where she is taking down platoons of soldiers, running through every rank, all by herself, by the way. And even when Jesse pulls up, when they're trying to escape with the car, she is shooting out the back of the window, taking heads off shoulders. Mind you, Ellie is doing all this with Tommy doing the same shit on the other block. Those two single-handedly took down a quarter of their army. If I was the leader, I'm handing Abby over. I realize my wrongs. I made a severe mistake. I should have never let Abby leave the nest. And for my wrongdoings, I offer her and her friends in hopes that'll resolve my failure. That would have been the correct response. Order all your troops to allow passage. There's no reason a human being should be able to take down groups of trained soldiers equipped with guns using a damn bow and arrow. And when they got a lead on Nora's whereabouts, one of Abby's friends that were there when they killed Joel, she left that same minute. Dina was like, yo, at least wait for Jesse to wake up. No, not waiting for that boy, I'm leaving. So on her way, she runs into the soldier who was just chilling. Ellie says, hey, where's Nora? She gonna tell us exactly where she is. Oh, Nora, yeah, she's in the hospital right now clearing the upper floor, so when you get there, take 2 lefts and then a right. The doorknob is broken, so look for the door that's cracked if you forget the directions. Like, she didn't even try to lie. Then she tries to attack Ellie like, dude, she's looking directly at you. That shit was not gonna work. You gave up Nora's location for no reason. The way this interaction usually works is that when you give information, you might get to live. So when Ellie let the blade up, instead of trying to stab her, you should have created some distance. I'm not saying you gotta let her leave, but at least give yourself better odds. So she finally gets to Nora, and Nora decides to antagonize her by saying, oh, do you still hear her screams? What? I do. Yeah, that little bitch got what he deserves. See, like, now we have to kill you.
See, look, you went for the pistol whip and she's just shot the bitch. That's your problem now.
Had us running throughout the building until they fell into this pit of spores. And bro, the red room scene with the music in the back, and Nora was like, wait, how are you breathing in spores? You're her. I had the constant stank face the entire time. This scene was so tough. So Ellie asked, where's Abby, and why would she tell her anything? She inhaled spores. She's dead anyway, right?
Because I can make it quick. Or I can make it so much worse.
And she
Talk your
dead
shit.
ass beat the info out of her. I also want to mention this is the only scene the HBO series did justice. Everything else about that show is ass.
Damn.
So then we cut to the end of the game when Ellie is closing in on Abby. She ends up getting caught in a trap, stabbed in the side, so she's injured. She passes out. These two guys pull up, cuts her down. Goofy ass got too close to the clicker, so Ellie says,
Something funny?
Oh, bitch.
so this dumbass is gonna take her towards the clicker, somehow got reversed, so now he's getting bit up, so Ellie takes his gun and shoots the other dude. Lost to an injured Ellie losing blood, y'all are sorry.
Niggas
But at the
sorry.
same time, that's my goal. I expect nothing less.
I don't understand. Like, are these niggas getting overly paid to be fodder? Throwing your life away to go against a nigga in a bad suit. Think about that. How does that sound? But if y'all enjoyed the reaction, comment, subscribe. That's the end of the video.